This was a very difficult revelation, as all survivors of any kind of abuse can testify. And it was a memory of a childhood abuse that I had buried very deeply, which is true of many survivors, so deeply that I really didn't have any conscious memory of incidents in my childhood in which had occurred. And hosting a woman-to-woman program with incest survivors, the memories came flooding back, which I'm told by the therapist who helped me that this often happens. You never know quite when the trigger will be, but it almost always happens. It's very rare that a survivor can go through an entire life and not confront the trauma. Howbeit, most incest survivors, or many of them, do end up being highly successful people. It's all part of the perfection syndrome in many ways that many people have written about. But that started a recovery process, and gratefully for me, I had wonderful help, and I did recover, and I was able to recognize the signs in my life that had been, that showed the effect and the impact of that early lack of unconditional love, which is one of the legacies that you take away from family abuse. But recovering it, still I did not, become an active person on that, except when I joined V-Day with Eve Ensler and became a member of her original board and the work to end violence, all kinds of violence everywhere. I began to deal with a lot of incest survivors, a lot of rape survivors, a lot of survivors of all kinds of sexual assault. And that has become a very driving passion in my life, working with those women along with Eve and the V-Day activists. Writing the book, I hadn't intended, however, to share that particular part of my life, except that as I began to tell the truth about a lot of things, about failures professionally, personally, that it felt important. And then witnessing what had happened in the last 10 years or more in this country, seeing more and more survivors come forward, and many, many of them not believed, most recently in the Supreme Court hearings that we witnessed. It felt important to share it, so I did. It does leave one with a sense of vulnerability, which all survivors feel, but it also felt to me that had my generation been a lot more upfront about the Me Too incidences that we all experienced, something I shared as well. We all knew it was going on. We knew we were being paid less than our male colleagues. We knew the sexual harassment was real. But we didn't speak up because we were in our silos. We were told to protect our turf, not to trust each other, not to build alliedships. And that kept us silent. So trying now to do whatever I can to break that silence, to make it safer for survivors to come forward and to get the help they need and to show up in ways that are necessary to help each other. So yes, I ended every woman-to-woman program with that message that woman-to-woman, we can and do help each other.